Melt and pour soap is my go-to when I want to make something beautiful and sudsy without having to fuss with complicated formulas or lie. But don't let its simplicity fool you into thinking it's just for beginners. First-time soap makers and experts alike can appreciate the beautiful designs they can craft using just some soap-based dye and, of course, a wonderful fragrance to complete it. Let me show you how to use a comparable version of Top Scent's Black Raspberry Magnolia scent in a swirly soap design. Melt and pour soap can be made in loaf or cavity molds. So what you use to achieve this look is your preference. I'm using large silicone muffin molds to make soaps in shapes that fit nicely in your hand and on shower shelves. The recipe I've got today uses a pound of soap base in total. Half is a clear glycerin base and the other half is an opaque white shea butter base. In order to scent and swirl them, they need to be melted down. I find this to be easiest in the microwave. Pop them in for 30 seconds at a time, giving them each a stir in between each interval to make sure that the soap base doesn't scorch or lose too much moisture. When there's no chunks left and the soap bases are fluid, add 0.24 ounces of fragrance to each. Black Raspberry Magnolia is a fan favorite and one that I think is great for soaps and candles alike. Whatever fragrance you prefer, stick with a 3% fragrance load for melt and pour soap. Too many liquid additives and your bars will turn out oily and squishy. To the clear soap, add some water-based liquid dye in a color that complements your fragrance of choice. In my case, a deep purple fits the black raspberry notes and will contrast against the plain white soap beautifully. The more different your two soap colors are, the more dramatic the contrast of the swirls will be. At this point, check the temperature of each soap base. To get to fine swirls without mudding, the soap needs to be nice and fluid, but not cold enough that they stay entirely separate from one another. 125 to 130 degrees Fahrenheit seems to be the sweet spot. Pour a bit of each soap base into the mold cavities at the same time on opposite ends of the cavity. The colors will naturally flow into each other, creating beautiful patterns. No two bars will be exactly the same. If the soap gets too chunky, you can pop it in the microwave for 15 more seconds, but be careful. This can evaporate some of the water out of your soap, thickening it and making it even more difficult to pour. Not to mention, you risk burning some of the fragrance off and scorching the soap. Just work quickly and give the soap a stir or two if you need to keep it fluid. Depending on the type of soap you use, your mold size, and your desired outcome, you may need to play around with the pour temperature to find out what's best for you. I recommend testing different techniques with small batches of soap with mini silicone mold bases to experiment. Melt and pour soap cools pretty quickly, so after an hour you can pop them out. Keep in mind that even though they may be solid on the surface, they might still be liquid inside, so double check that they're not warm to the touch before you unmold them. They all came out super pretty. It's lots of fun to see all the variations between each bar, but the theme is still consistent throughout, and the swirls pair really nicely with Black Raspberry Magnolia fragrance. Just think of all of the color combos that you could use along your own favorite soap scents. Leave your thoughts in the comments section and let me know if you've ever swirled your own MP soap before. If you haven't already, become a member of the Fragrance Fam to stay up to date with more do-it-yourself projects and monthly $1,000 giveaways. As always, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!